everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to 12-Minute Trading. My name is Doc Severson. I'm joined here today by Dave Lukas of 12-Minute Trading as well, too. Today is Monday, the 9th of February. And finally, at least for us, we got past some nasty weather over the past few weeks. It's sunny outside. It's going to be 70 degrees here tomorrow. Unbelievable. And that's kind of the same thing that's happening with this market. I mean, nobody can figure out what's going on with the market. Is it up? Is it down? Is it about to crash? Man, I was around X all weekend, and I never saw so many people forecasting doom. Like, this is it. And here we are. We're inches away once again from the all-time highs. Dave, what are you seeing out there, man?
We've been talking about it for, I feel like a broken record, 6,800 to 7,000, big, just range bound market until it breaks out. Everything's there to break out. So, are we going to make it? We may hit 7,000 today by the end of the day. What are we, 20 points away? So I just think we're going to make another run at that thing. And do we get slapped back down when we fall back down to like 6,800 and then the buyers step back in again? It's a great market for iron condors. Been having a lot of fun trading those. But I got to think we're getting close to a breakout. I think the Russell is about to break out to the upside. You and I were talking earlier, there's a lot of different sectors that across the board that, not the leading sector has been tech and stuff. And like semis and all that stuff are still doing really well. But like energy's taken over, consumer staples taken over, all these different, it's broadening out. And I don't see crashes from broadening out like that. When you see like the rest of the market outside the Mag 7 start to hit new highs, right? I think it's the I forget what they call it. There's an index that takes them out, right? And it's like the equal weighted index or something like that of them all. And here we are. This thing is right there, and I gotta think like third time's a charm here. So we'll see. But I definitely think the Russell may be leading the way. And a lot of times that's the canary in the coal mine. It's also insulated. If something happens with Iran, it doesn't affect the Russell that much, right? Because that's here at home. So,
so I'm showing the Russell. Showing the Russell
Yeah.
right now, and which is like inches away from breaking out to all-time highs once again.
Well, and the Russell's catching up because the Russell just at the end of last year finally got to new highs. And where the rest of the market's been hitting new highs, new highs, new highs for the last few years, the Russell's just starting to catch up. It's not even close to having gone as far as like the S&P or the NASDAQ has into new high territory. If you throw a Bollinger Band set on the daily chart right now, it's really telling because there's a big squeeze on the Bollinger Band and just a crap ton of energy, in that chart. And this thing's just getting ready to rock and roll. So I would be very surprised if by the end of the week we don't see the Russell break out to new highs and really break out of that Bollinger Band squeeze there.
Yeah, let's see. We've also had a breakout on the Dow Jones from a similar squeeze, and this has already gone positive. So,
and that's a great example of broadening out, too.
The only, what's been happening, the benefactor has been, and this chart doesn't really do justice to it because it's a little bit compressed with all these studies on it. So normally I don't run this many studies on something because it erases the price, but the NASDAQ has been the benefactor for all these rallies that are happening because we keep getting distribution of Mag 7 again and again and again. The AI trade keeps getting harvested back into things like industrials, into materials, into staples and other. So we're seeing a huge breakout in, like what we showed before, like XLB. This is a huge breakout that we've had from a long-term base, which is awesome. And then industrials, it's the same thing. It's just like big, long base and big breakout from that. So we're just seeing a rotation of the economy right now. And people getting a little nervous about the AI trade and thinking that it's a little bit done or it's a little bit tired for right now. I do want to mention, guys, if you have any questions, please get those in. If you want us to look at something, take a look at the chart and, give us your tickers, anything you want us to take a look at. I do have to wrap up a little bit early today, so probably maybe 10 minutes till we're going to wrap up our session today. So let us know if there's anything you want to look at, or for those of you that are watching this on a replay, let us know for next week's session if you want us to take a look at something.
You and I were also on what's predominantly smacking tech. Even outside of the Mag 7 is software because of the Claude AI agents that were released. Like we looked at IGV, and that thing, honestly, that's one of those setups that you look at and go, maybe this is at a bottom. Maybe this is time to pick up some or even do a wheel on it because it's been beaten down so bad. But there's always the initial reaction like that to these things where, oh my gosh, software's dead. Software's not dead. It may impact how the models are done and they may change that stuff, but it's a lot of times overblown. And so you see things kind of revert to the mean. So that's something to really think about too. If you're somebody who's a risk taker and wants to take advantage of volatility a little bit, IGV is one to look at right now. It's the whole software sector, or you can go in on CRM, Salesforce, or even like HubSpot's been cut in half. A number of these bigger CRM type softwares have been really beat up lately. ServiceNow is another one. ServiceNow's a great company, so Now has been beat up. So these are just ones to kind of think about, again, well, be fearful when others are greedy, greedy when others are fearful, right? If you think the software sector is going away, then don't do it. But if you think that that software is going to stay and there's going to continue to be innovation there and that things are going to do well, these companies are on big time sale. You look at the highs, look at even now, what was the high? 240 adjusted, right? Now it's what, 103? So it's over 50% down.
Yeah, that's 240 to 103.
Yeah. So, that's look at hubs.
And you could even, if you wanted to on Now, you could go out, and you could sell quite a bit of premium for even less than that,
because of the volume, because of the volatility.
The volatility is spiking right now. So you can do even better. You could say, well, all right, I'll commit to buying at 75 and I'll get paid for this, probably at least, $250, somewhere in that area. Yeah. So that's not a bad return.
You go out a little bit longer too, maybe even go out to, what do they got strikes wise? I haven't looked, but maybe
you can go out to April, you can go out to, all that stuff.
Yeah. So there's something, that's the time, right? Be fearful when others are greedy, greedy when others are fearful. Buy when there's blood, blood in the streets, right? So if you like some of these companies, it's, this is the time that they're on sale for sure.
I'm going to show you guys something really quick here that I've been spending a lot of time on lately, and it's Bitcoin in particular. So we had a big bounce on Friday, and it seems to be sticking for right now. That's what capitulation looks like. Now, what I was looking at was, how does this compare against some of the biggest bounces in history? And so what I've done is I've got the old RSI 14. This is one of the very few oscillators that I look at. And this did get down below 30. So anytime it's below 30, this is considered to be oversold. Again, this is a weekly chart. So if we take this weekly chart, how often have we seen a move like this? Let's see if I can get this thing out of here. So the only times that we've seen below 30 has been during the bear in 2022. And eventually what happened was this, it stopped right there as it went into oversold. And then it went sideways for the better part of half of the year, right? So it went about 6 months sideways, bottomed on the FTX announcement, and then started the next move. The previous one before that was back in 2018. Went sideways for several months and then started the next move. So we could be looking at some type of reaction coming in here. This is what makes sense. The price got back to the 200 weekly moving average, which is known as support in this business. So one of the things that you can do at this point, I think, which is relatively safe, is to sell against this. You could use the IBIT if you wanted to.
And you can sell in the low 30s on IBIT right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
So right now on the IBIT, we don't have that much data on the IBIT, but you could sell easily down here into, let's just say 32, and let's see what 32 would pay if you went out. Oh, let's see, 27 March, if you wanted to go to IBIT. So we do this kind of stuff all the time. These are just the simple trades that we do. So 27 March, if we say 32, well, guess what? You're paying at least 2%. You're making at least 2% on your money over the next 46 days. And you could
you'll be out ahead of that because time will work on you and you'll be out.
Yeah, you could be even more aggressive on that if you wanted to, because like we said, the bottom here is at about 35. So if you're a more aggressive type, you can sell right at that bottom, and that's 3.5% in that area, which is a nice chunk of change. And you've only got a 21% chance of being assigned at this point. So there's so many opportunities that are out there, guys, for this type of stuff, where if you just take the opposite side of the fear, and if you use some statistical analysis as a basis for your decision, this is where profits come from. This is where the income comes from.
Doc, another one, if you're looking right alongside this too, is ETH. I mean, if you're going to look at IBIT, you can look at Ethereum too, and ETH is down in the, what, 30s, 20s?
No, 15, 16.
Oh, 16.
Yeah,
Jeez.
it really got hit. I'm not as confident of this one. I mean, it is the number 2 coin that's out there. I'm not as confident of this one, but you're what I'm concerned about is if this thing gets hit any further, they're going to have to do a reverse split on it, and that's not going to be pretty. So I'm trying to, on any kind of bounce, I'm trying to sell into that and, just basically clear my positions. So we were real strong into it up here, but since that point, we've had to roll all the way down here. So I'm looking to close any positions that I have. But I believe that Bitcoin will still remain, as long as I've been involved with this, which has now been 8 years, Bitcoin has still been the strongest. And I expect it to be the 500-pound gorilla in the space.
Silver may be finding itself a support level too. You look at SLV, it's up $5 today. I know you and I both sold. I sold in the 50s. You sold, I think, in the 60s a week or so ago on the big drop.
61.
Yeah. And so SLV's got a nice kind of coming right in to really that breakout level, right? And that's the thing with these. They come back to the breakout level, they find support there, and then they get ready for their next run. Gold's, GLD's done the same thing.
Well, if we take this from a fib perspective, this got down to the classic 61.8% retracement, which is, I mean, I can't believe that it got there in 2 days, which is amazing to me. 2 days of selling. Like there were some big players that were shorting silver at that point. So, and this is slightly different from the /SI or the silver futures. So you got to be careful what you're trading. But I'd say now the one thing I was looking at this morning, and let me check on this, but oh yeah, gold looks like it's actually completed. The one thing I like here is that we've had the initial drop, we had the bounce up, and now we have the higher low, higher high. Yeah. This has changed back to an uptrend on the polarity. So I think silver is going to follow that as well too. There's no reason why not. And we've also seen some other metals like copper. Copper still looks really good.
Parabolic,
even though it's had its moments and everything like that. It's been basing flat, and this one looks good to continue on a break above 37. So all kinds of things out there. No shortage of opportunities, guys.
Yeah, one thing to look at too, guys, if you like the gold markets and stuff, the miners usually follow like GLD and the gold price later. So like the GDX is back to being fairly cheaper now when it was in the 190s. So it's come down. Or sorry, that not that one, but the GDX is a good one too. So, but the Van Eck one, is that it? Yeah, that one's good. So the GDX is a good one to look at too. So there's a number of them around the miners, but they've got great premium. Yeah, look at the premium in there.
You could sell the
And
$90 strike and you could get, that's well over 2% right there.
yeah, so the miners typically follow later when there's these moves. So you can see as high as 113. I think we could see that again the next gold run. So again, if you like that basket of things, there's also a lot to out there about the miners still need to catch up to gold's price, which means that that GDX should be a lot higher than even 113. So. Yeah, there's opportunities all over, guys. Always is. Just you have to be have the clarity to see them, right?
Okay. Well, nothing's seen. So Dave and I are going to wrap up here in a minute. So I just want to, you know, continue to encourage you guys, like, don't just get locked in the same issues. This is what we see all the time, is that people get locked in the Mag 7 and they want to keep playing the Mag 7 because they get all the news and everything like that. Meanwhile, they've gone nowhere in the past 3 to 4 months since really October. They peaked out in October, and that's when the first kind of, scare was about AI and, the AI trade, and that'll go away. I'm sure at some point that'll go away, and then they'll continue resumption of the trend. Meanwhile, what's happened is over the past 3 to 4 months, there's been other bull markets that have happened where if you'd been paying attention, you could have participated in them. So, human beings don't like to change. We get locked in on the stuff that we like and we keep playing it and those kind of things. But I encourage you guys to keep your eyes peeled and, have your limits for what you want to do with this market.
And again, like I said, broken record, but we've been range bound between 7,000 and 6,800. So if any of those levels cracks, then bam, you are off to the races in that direction. So that's the only thing that, and the energies are all there to do it, guys. Everything's charged up, ready to go, all that stuff. So, because we've done nothing but go sideways. So, just keep watching and be patient too. I actually have gone. I'm about 85% in cash right now. And that reason being is that I'm waiting for this thing to break and just tell me which way it's going to go because I'm going to put that to work. And that'll be a tremendous opportunity. So, something to be said for a little bit of patience here as well. Dipping the toe in on some of these sectors or things that have been beaten down is good, right? I think you're right on Bitcoin. I think, we're probably near, or at a bottom and you can sell way below that, right? Which gives you a good position. But just watch. It may happen in the next day or so. It may happen by the end of today that we crack 7,000 to the upside and we're off to the races. So once that happens, it's going to go quick. So
yeah, everybody's going to chase after it. So and the shorts are going to be scrambling to get out. As many shorts as I saw this weekend, there's quite a lot of people that are convinced that doom is upon us. But I'm not seeing that in what the price. Normally, the price leaves footprints when it's getting nervous, when it's ready to distribute and sell off, and I'm not seeing those right now. So, all right, everybody, thanks for joining us. Next week, next Monday is actually President's Day, so we will see you guys in 2 weeks from today. So thanks for joining us again. Have a great Monday. Enjoy the better weather this week, hopefully, and we'll see you guys soon.
Bye, guys.